Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another Sims 4 Create a Sim video. So today I am continuing my Fill the World Create a Sim series where I create families for all of the empty houses in each of the worlds. So this time we are still in San Myshuno. We're still in the fashion district. This family lives in the penthouse there, the one Torendi Tower Penthouse. It's valued at 244,000 simoleons. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom penthouse, and it has the lot traits of party place and sunny aspect. So this is the Underwood family. There are 3 human Sims and then 2 animal Sims. First up, we have Tiana Underwood, and she is our musician. She is a music lover. She's self-absorbed and she's also creative, and she has the aspiration of wanting to be a famous celebrity. So this family in general, they're all kind of taking advantage of the new, well, sort of new fame and celebrity system that we got with the Get Famous expansion pack. They all have very different ways that they want to become famous, and hers is through her music and her singing. She is in the entertainer career and she is concentrating in piano, but she's also talented in singing and playing the violin because, you know, why not? So she has 6 charisma skill points, 8 piano skill points, 5 singing skill points, and 6 violin skill points. So this house has quite a few like musical type objects in it. It actually doesn't have the violin, but for her level of her career that I wanted her to be at, she needed violin skill points, which kind of a bummer, but it does have a very beautiful grand piano on the 2nd floor, and then there's also a karaoke machine upstairs as well. So I figured that would be sort of Tiana's own personal stage at home. So yeah, she is, I believe, a level 3 celebrity. So she's doing pretty okay for herself for being a young adult. Just in general, all 3 of the Sims who live in this house together, they're all pretty well off, pretty successful, kind of the people that like you want to hate, but they're kind of nice about it, so it's a little difficult to actually hate them. So she's not like bad or anything, it's just that things in life have come pretty easily to her, and she's very fashionable and stylish, and she's learned how to present herself really well, so she's just kind of one of those girls who's just kind of got it made in the shade a little bit. So yes, so she actually owns the penthouse with her brother Felix. We'll see Felix in just a minute, and then they also have Felix's best friend Adley living with them as well. So Felix is our stylist. He wants to be a famous stylist. He's in the style influencer career, so that's kind of his thing. And I like to think that he, through the years, has sort of used his sister as like his pet project. Like, you know, obviously being a guy, he's, you know, more experienced in the world of men's fashion, but, you know, you have this sister who has this desire to be like glamorous and famous, and of course, it's like you have your own dress-up doll. So he's kind of used some of his style and talent in that way to dress her up and make her look just as good as he does. So yeah, so their house is pretty over the top. It is, I believe it's the smaller penthouse. Oh, is it the smaller penthouse of the 2? I actually don't know anymore. No, this is the bigger penthouse. I lied. So this is the bigger penthouse, and it shows. I was gonna say, if this is the smaller penthouse, what's the bigger one then? Because this one is pretty over the top. Like there's a pool and there's a basketball court, and it's just, it's meant for people who want to entertain and people who want to be seen. Especially with, I mean, it has the party place lot trait. So like these Sims, they like to entertain. They like to have people over. Pretty much anything where they kind of get to be the center of attention, they are all about. I think that maybe Tiana and Felix growing up were kind of raised in a very similar similar way to how they are as adults. I mean, again, they're nice, but they're also, you know, like we've all known people like that in our lives where it's just like they don't seem to ever have bad things happen to them. Like everything just sort of comes easily, and so it's kind of easy, I think, to resent them. But they're not doing anything wrong. It's just that they've never had to work hard. But at the same time, all three of these Sims are all in careers. Like they're not lazing around doing nothing. They've made something of themselves. It's just that maybe they had more advantages to get to the point that they're at in their careers than other Sims who are just starting out. So I really like Tiana's look overall. She's very glamorous, and she kind of reminds me of like a New Yorker. She wears a lot of black and a lot of like what I would consider to be like high fashion types of pieces. And again, I think that comes from having a brother who's big into style and fashion. So this is her brother Felix. As I said before, he is a style influencer. He has the traits of being creative, outgoing, and ambitious, and he has the city native aspiration. So he is very content to stay living in the city for his entire life. He loves the busyness of everything. He loves the nightlife and the action. He is very outgoing, so he's kind of like our resident party planner. So I think he's probably the one who organizes a lot of their social gatherings at their house, and Tiana sort of provides the impromptu entertainment, you know? Like, I've never actually seen this happen in real life, but I feel like this is a thing that I've seen in movies where, like, the person who's talented musically just sort of, like, who's also, like, kind of self-absorbed, just sort of puts themselves on the stage at a party and an event, and they just sort of make it all about themselves. So Felix is the one sort of setting his sister up for that and gives her the platform to shine. So he is also, though, a level 3 celebrity as well. So, he's doing a pretty okay for himself. He's also, because he's ambitious, he's very work-focused as well, and he's creative. So him being in the style influencer career is pretty perfect. He has 5 charisma skill points, 4 painting skill points, 3 photography skill points, and 6 writing skill points. So all things that he needs to be excellent in the world of style and fashion. He's a charismatic, outgoing guy, and he enjoys fashion. He enjoys making people look good. He enjoys throwing parties. Yes, so he has the bedroom on the first floor of the house that I think it's red in color. We'll see it in the screenshots at the end. But it has like lots of like closets and they're not the actual closets. It's like the wardrobes that came with city living, and there's like a computer in there. I was like, this is perfect for someone working in the style career, because he's got like tons of clothes and he's got his computer there. So he is ready to go. So he also shares their house with his best friend, Adley Rice. Adley is obviously no relation, different last name. And Adley is he's not very different, but he's less artistic than Felix. He's more of the stereotypical jock. He is in the athletic career. He also wants to be famous as an aspiring basketball star, but he's not quite as famous as Felix and Tiana are. I think he's only a level 2 celebrity. So like he's not a nobody, but he's still kind of working his way up there a little bit. He has the traits of athletic, bro, and self-absorbed. So he and Tiana have that self-absorbed thing in common. But he is very much a jock. He's a bro, he's an athlete. He actually doesn't really on the surface have anything in common with Felix. But I sort of think that maybe they were roommates in like boarding school or prep school or something, and that's how they became friends, because like on the surface, again, there's not really much in common, except now also their love of partying and entertaining people, and like he is more than content to just live with Tiana and Felix. I actually sort of suspect that maybe he might have a smidge of a crush on Tiana. I mean, like, who wouldn't? She's super pretty, but like I could see that happening, perhaps even autonomously. And yeah, so he has 5 charisma skill points, 8 fitness skill points, 4 mixology skill points, and 4 video gaming skill points. So he's at their parties that they like to throw. He is kind of the resident bartender. So he's not awesome at mixology, but like he thinks that he is. And so he's definitely the one manning the bar at the parties. You know, like there's always somebody who's like, I can make all the drinks. And sometimes it works out well, and other times it really doesn't. But yeah, so his main focus is definitely fitness and being athletic. You know, he also really takes advantage of the giant basketball court in their house. I mean, like, if you want to be a basketball star and you have a house that has a basketball court in it, that's pretty awesome to have that set up. But yeah, so he, you know, he's also into video gaming, so like, you know, it's not all athletics for him. He does know how to kick back and have fun sometimes. But yeah, their house does have like one of the high-end video game consoles that came out with City Living in it, so I was like, alright, one of you guys needs to be into video gaming. And it doesn't really make a lot of sense for Tiana. It might make sense for Felix, but it makes the most sense, I think, for Adley. So he is also into video games, but not quite as much as, you know, playing basketball. So then we have their 2 pets. They have a dog named Rolex and a cat named Prada. So Rolex is a Doberman Rottweiler mix, and I believe Rolex, I'm pretty sure I made Rolex a boy and Prada a girl. I don't remember offhand though. But yeah, so Rolex is smart, loyal, and friendly. He's, you know, I mean, like, I think a lot of times people think that Dobermans and Rottweilers are like mean, tough dogs, and they're not. Like, they're just big bundles of sweethearts. And I decided to name them after like luxury brands, so I thought that was kind of fun. Prada, on the other hand, is a Himalayan Scottish fold mix, and she is lazy, affectionate, and spoiled. So very much what I would consider to be like a stereotypical cat of a very wealthy person who's just like super lazy and super spoiled. Like, all of her humans are pretty hardworking people, but like she is not, because she is a cat, and so the world kind of revolves around her, at least in her mind. So this is the Underwood family. If you would like to download them, you can do so on the Sims 4 gallery. The easiest way to find them is through the link in the description box below this video, or you can search for them on the gallery using my username, which is Mrs. Tomato 1018, or through the hashtag, which is also Mrs. Tomato 1018. And as always, there's absolutely no custom content in them. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, you can do so down below. I put up a new video every Tuesday. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!